guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Sunday and it's time for a review show special. This is the what's becoming weekly review show where we actually take a deep dive on a particular product or a particular creator. And today I want to talk to you about what I think at the moment is the hottest trick in Magic. Everybody is talking about this, and I am of course talking about Gravity by Joao Miranda. Now this is something that literally came out of nowhere. Literally one day nobody knew about it and the next day it's taken the Magic world by storm. But this promises to do a lot. This promises to be the ultimate invisible thread reel. This promises to literally change the game when it comes to animations, floating objects, the stuff that it says it can do on the tin sounds incredible. And I've had so many people say, will you review this product? Can you have a look at it? Can you review it? Want to know what it is? Because it has got a high price tag. It's £300. It's not cheap. So that is what I've done. I've gone one step further. I reached out to Tom Wright. Tom is obviously the co-creator of this. Joao Miranda created the thread reel from a technical point of view, but Tom has been there the entire step of the way, creating the routines, and basically they've been working together to create this thread reel, and Tom's been talking about exactly what he wants in there. Now, if you don't know Tom Wright, his work on invisible thread reels and animation speaks for itself, right back from his very first release, which is Chill, which is sort of an impromptu haunted deck in the spectator's hands, right through to present day. He is one of the top thread workers, not just in the UK, but in the whole of the world, and this kind of solidifies that. Now, I've reached out to Tom. I've done an interview with him and I grill him about this product. And the reason I do is because I don't actually use thread. I've spoken openly on this channel about how I don't really use thread. I use loops and that's it. It's not something that I've ever felt comfortable doing. I've tried to use ITRs in the past. I've had a Spider Pen Pro in the past. I bought a Tarantula when it first came out and it always ends up going in my bottom drawer. I know there's some people that kill with thread. I am not one of them. I reached out to Tom and I said, look, I want to review this and I'd like to do an interview with you. And he said yes. And I said to him, and I just want to make this very, very clear, if you agree to do this, I will be reviewing the product and I'm going to be completely honest about it. If I don't like it, I'm going to say that. And you know my thought process when it comes to ITR. And he said, yeah, I think this is going to change your mind. This is going to change your mind when it comes to using an invisible thread reel. And I said, well, let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll the interview with you first of all, so you can see the conversation that me and Tom had. He breaks down exactly what this is about. He talks about the features, he talks about the pros, he talks about the benefits. You will have no question about what this product is when you've watched this interview with Tom. So let's have a look at the interview first. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to give you a full review. So I'm here with the incredible Tom Wright, who has once again set the world on fire. And you've come out with the thing that everyone's talking about. You know it's a good product when it's only just gone out and you've already got like 7 or 8 pages of stuff going on the Magic Cafe. You know that at that point people are interested in what you got.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, Gravity. I mean, for those, you and I have known each other for a long time, right, Tom?
We have, mate. We have a long time.
And you know that I don't do thread work at all.
You don't? No, you don't.
And you've tried to convince me in the past to do thread work, and I've always said no. And you told me off camera that Gravity is going to be the thing that changes my mind.
It is. And I believe that, Craig Pay, you are going to be doing thread by the end of this talk. Well, that's what you are. I believe it. I believe it.
I'm excited. So first of all, before we talk about the features and benefits and why it's going to change my act forever, where did this all come from? Like, how did you and Miranda kind of get linked up? How did this project even come to sort of fruition?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I had his smoke cube quite a long time ago. I had a slight issue with it, and I emailed him, and he was very, very good, and he fixed it straight away. And he just happened to mention that he saw my Penguin lecture, and he said that he really, really liked it. We just got chatting, and he said he'd love to maybe work with me on something. And I said, okay. We bounced some ideas around, nothing really came to it. And then I think he was talking to, he wanted to bring out an ITR reel. And I think he was talking to David Penn. And then David Penn mentioned that, oh, Tom, remember Tom does all the IT stuff. And I think it just sort of jogged João's memory. He came back to me, and then João asked me, he said, would you like to work on a project with me? And I said, yes. And then that was it. We started talking about an ITR. He asked me, what do you want it to do? And I said, I want to do this, 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 and this. And we went back and forth for months over the applications of what it can do. And I made a lot of changes. He made a lot of changes until we came to the finished product. And we couldn't be happier. It is insane.
Okay, so that's the history. And I know you've been working on this for a long time. Here's the question that everyone's asking. Okay. Why should I spend 300 quid or whatever it is on Gravity when you can get a micro RTR reel for 20 quid from your favorite magic dealer? They both float stuff, right?
Yeah, they absolutely do.
I can pin it right there. I can float stuff.
Yeah.
So what's the big advantage over any other method of floating stuff?
Okay, so there's quite a few. So number one, a lot of the effects that you see on the trailer, you will not be able to accomplish with a regular ITR. You would have to be able to change the speed and the tension, which on the fly, live, which you can't do with ITRs. And you would also need to have some stuff recorded, which again, you can't do with a regular ITR. What do
you mean by recorded? Sorry, can you clarify that? What do you mean by recorded?
All right, okay. So with this ITR, you can record anything that you'd like. So just for an example, let's say I recorded this pen to float up to my hand after 30 seconds. Then I just hit play, and then after 30 seconds, it will fly to my hand. That's just for an example. And you can record up to 4 hours worth of things of an effect, but also you can, you not only can you have 4 hours, which is you don't need 4 hours. I mean, 4 hours is just incredibly, you probably only need 30 minutes or even less than that. But you can record up to 3 different things. So you can have, for an example, this could be a flying coin. This one could be a haunted deck. And this one could be like the gravity ring, where you saw the ring float up and fly to the glass. And so you can record up to 3 different things, and you can record over them as many times as you like. So there are a couple of things. I mean, I can tell you everything. I can spill the beans if you want me to on everything.
Yeah, I want you to spill the beans. I want to know all about this and why this is going to, change the industry, because that's what everyone's saying it's going to do. It's going to change the industry. People aren't going to be thinking about thread the same way again.
Okay, so strap yourself in. There's a lot to get through, and you have to remind me if I forget anything. Okay, so number one, this is the unit. This is it. The first thing you have is you have 2 motors. So essentially, you have 2 ITRs in one, which is great. So for an example, it's almost like a backup. So let's say you were doing My Coin Spin Oblivion, right? Let's say you're doing it, and for some reason you're in performance, and the thread snaps or something like that. You can easily just go in and get your backup ITR if you were floating a bill or whatever, because that was one of the main issues that people said. People said it always snaps when I try to float something. It snaps, and then I have to go away to a corner and try and suck the thread out and all that, doing all these weird things, right? So that was one of the things that we addressed. We thought, let's have it so it's got 2 motors, so you've always got a backup. So that was a massive plus. That was the first thing I think we talked about. Then we realized, hang on a second, if we have 2 motors, they could actually join up and then become like a hoop. Right, so then he went away and did it because even to do that, that's quite ingenious from João's end, because they've got to reel in certain speeds for it to all work. So yes, you can, and that's why we've got this little groove here, because you can just put your finger in there and then just grab the hoop, and this can be inside of your pocket, in here, or anywhere. So so you've got three options there. You've got two motors, and then you've got a hoop. So that's all then.
So it will work as a normal ITR. If I don't want to do any of the recording stuff, I can just use it as a normal ITR. I can have it positioned in any place that I would normally want to keep my ITR, and I can use it as an ITR. Could I, in performance, switch from using it as an ITR to using it as a pre-programmed device?
Yes, you can. So, well, let me talk about this first of all. So, if you, I mean, I'm going to get to this. This is amazing. This controller. I'll get to this in a second. Let's say you don't want to use a controller and you just want to use this as an ITR. There are two side buttons. There's a button here and there's a button there. When you hold them for 10 seconds, it becomes a regular ITR. So that means if I pull this out, then the putty will just shoot back. Also, you can increase the speed of that as well. So if you wanted to lift something heavier, then you can increase the speed so it can do that. And of course, you can tie them together and have a hoop as an ITR as well. So that is that machine in itself. That's what it does. You've also got the controller, which is fantastic. So I'm just going to turn this on and just show you very quickly. So you've got motor one, here, and you've got motor two there. And this is the vibration, which I'll talk about in a second. And this is the speed. This is the tension speed of the reels. So now, and again, you've got record, live, and play here. So let's say we don't want to record anything. We want it all in live position. That means I can change the tension whenever I want to. So at this moment in time, you might be thinking, well, why would I want to do that? So let me just explain. Let me explain one of the effects to you so you understand. This doesn't have to be on me. This can be anywhere I want. There's an effect that's on the routine that's called Exorcist 1. And this ITR is placed, it can be inside of like a card box, okay? That means I don't have to be stood anywhere near it. There's a pack of cards, a card gets selected, the cards get placed onto the floor. I can then put this on live mode. I can stand with the crowd. I can stand with all the spectators, and I can control absolutely everything. And that means that if I want to, in this routine, the Exorcist 1, the first thing that happens is the top card slightly flinches and slides off. Now, at this moment in time, I don't want it to be on a high speed, because it's very sensitive. It's only trying to lift up one card. So I can have it set in like a position 2, for instance, and I can just tap motor 2, which will make the card flinch, and then hold it and it will slide off. Now, of course, I want the deck to pull back. Now I can move the speed up to say like 4 or 5. Now press motor 2 and the deck will pull, because obviously it needs to be on higher speed. We'll pull it out. And now again, I want the card to shoot out, right? Now, if I keep it on the same speed and press motor 2, it'll just sort of trickle out, but I want it to fire out. So I can whack this up to like number 8 or maybe 7. That means that when I press motor 2 now, that card's just going to go bang and it's going to shoot out. You see what I mean? So these are the reasons why I needed to be able to change the speed and the tension live. And this is very small. I mean, you can finger pump. I mean, I can have my hands folded. I can have this in my into my trouser pocket. Also, there is a toe switch. And because there's a toe switch, that means that you don't have to have any control on you. Obviously, it'll only work with the speed that you set it. You won't be able to change the speed, but there are effects out there that's on the project that you only need to have one speed. There's one called anti-gravity ball. That's on one speed. The ball goes up, it goes down, it freezes, and it disappears at the end. And that's all on one.
That looks like CGI.
It does. It looks. In fact, to be honest, we are uploading on this project. You get 20 plus effects. 20. I mean, well, first of all, I've never seen an ITR project that has that many, and there are more. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, these aren't just little effects. These aren't just little things moving. These are effects that I believe that are original. That are on. Well, a lot of them are on the project. I've lost my train of thought.
You're talking about anti-gravity ball.
Oh yes, yeah. So anti-gravity ball, it can be just on just a one speed, and that's on the toe switch. So yeah, that is that in a nutshell. Obviously, you can record things, and there are effects on here where you might want to do half of it live and then just the last bit recorded. Like for an example, or the other way around, there's an effect called Exorcist 2, which is another haunted deck, and it's the one where the card's cut, then I walk away and the card jumps out, and then it slides all the way to me and then goes up vertically and I catch the card. Well, firstly, the first part of that is on record. So I've already pre-recorded it. So all I have to do is hit play. I get a vibration, and that's what the whole point of the vibration is because you can cue yourself. Because that means that you're not counting in your head of when the magic's going to happen. So just for an example, I will get a vibration of when to walk towards the deck. Now, why would I need a vibration to do that? Well, if you think about it, I'm trying to explain. Let's say this is the pack of cards, and I'm stood over here. Well, that means that the IT is going from my body to the deck, right? Now, this moment in time, there's lots of slack. There's all this slack thread going along the floor and to me on my person. Well, that vibration tells me to walk forward. And as I walk forward, the thread is on a very low setting, and it's pulling in all the excess thread. So that means I can now walk to it. Because if it didn't pull in the thread, I'd be walking all over the thread and it'd get tangled up everywhere. So it needs to be taut as I'm walking towards it. Then it'll give me a vibration to tell me that the tension's going to increase. So I can then put my hand in the position it needs to be, and the cards will cut. Then it'll give me a vibration to tell me that it's ended and the ITR mode is off, and I can walk back, and it's not going to pull anything in. I can walk back now. Then I can take the controller into my hands live, because you can attach a magnet to here, and you can attach a magnet to your back pocket, so you can switch it in and out. And then I can grab the controller and then do it live, where the card slides along the floor and then jumps to my hand. In fact, you could do the last bit on toe switch. So you could hit play, not have anything in your hands, walk all the way towards it, walk away to the back, and then have it on toe switch on the speed that you set. So it's very confusing. But this thing does so much. It's unreal. It really, really is. It is groundbreaking, and we are still coming up with effects.
Well, I was just about to say that. Like, I mean, Miranda's always been amazing at supporting his products. But you told me off camera that you're coming up with routines all of the time, and that's continually being updated. You showed me just before we started filming a card switch. That is the cleanest card switch I've ever seen. Even cleaner than Sankey's full view switch. Like, incredible. For people that, I'm telling you, this is exactly how he looked. Tom had a card. He showed his hand empty. He just reached over, he took the card, and he said, that's a switch. And you told me that's using the same reel. So the method...
Yes. I mean, the thing, what's great about this reel, it's a little bit like the Nintendo Switch. And if you've got the Nintendo Switch, there's more than one place of how to use it and play it. Again, this reel can be on you, it can be in your top pocket, and each effect requires different things. So some effects require it to be in your top pocket. Some effects requires it to be inside. Some require it where it's not even on you. Some of it's inside of a wallet. Sometimes it's inside of a box. There's so many ways you can use it. Now, we are, like I say, with the card switch, that's not even on the project yet. I have only just, me and João actually have only just come up with it within, I think it was today. It was today when we came up with it. And I uploaded, I mean, don't forget, there are 20 plus effects on there now. I've just uploaded Anti-Gravity Ball, which went on, I think it was about 5 days ago. And then there's a brand new Vanish that's just been uploaded to that. And now we're going to be even filming some card switches. And I've got some other variations in my mind of how that can work. So we've got to stop coming up with effects, because
you're telling me stuff like you wouldn't normally think of using an ITR to do a card switch or do a Vanish or do stuff like that. You think of an ITR to do psychokinetic touches, floating stuff, you know, animations. This is taking it in a completely different direction as well.
It is, yeah. So that's what's so exciting about it. But yeah, it's just it's so good. And I think we're just, I mean, these are just the effects that I've come up with. I'm really excited to see what everyone else is going to be doing with it. But yeah, it's we keep coming up with things, and it's crazy.
I have questions. Right. Question number one.
Okay.
I'm trying to get my head around this whole recording thing. Let me ask you, if I was a family entertainer, you said there's 4 hours of recording. If I'm a family entertainer, could I do some sort of animated handkerchief type thing and not even have the ITR on me and have it in the area in which I'm performing and have like an animated silk hanky or an animated ball and having it like, because what I'm thinking, you talked about your anti-gravity ball and you got 4 hours of recording. Imagine for a family entertainer, if you had like a 2-inch sponge ball and you do something with it, you do a routine with a 2-inch sponge ball and you go, I'm always having problems with this ball. I'm going to put it there on my table. And then you've got this program so that every couple of minutes it jumps up and then goes there. You could almost have like a kid show what no see thing. So it's kind of like the kids are shouting to you, the ball's floating, hang on, what? And it's pre-programmed so that it's happening throughout the show as a running gag.
You could 100% do that, absolutely. With a dancing hanky, though, what I will say is, if you did want to do a dancing hanky, I would totally hands down go to Sean Burguinas and get one of his dancing hanky routines, because his machine and setup is designed to do that, and it is amazing what his can do. But absolutely, with like a sponge ball or any type of ball that goes up and down, you could totally do that. That's a great idea. I like that, actually. So, yeah, I mean, you've got 4 hours worth. So basically,
during the course of a 45-minute show, it can be programmed, and you know when it's happening because you got the vibration built into it.
Yes.
So you're driving the kids absolutely insane, because
well, you could like, just for an example, every, let's say, I don't know, every 10 minutes, the ball goes inside of a jar. Say it's inside of a jar or in some whatever bottle of something, and every 10 minutes. Just for an example, it goes digga, 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 and then stops, right? You could easily give yourself 3 vibrations, so it goes ding, ding, ding. That will tell you that, right, after this 3rd vibration, the ball's going to go digga, 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 right, for however long. And you could do that for the whole 45 minutes. So every 5 minutes, the ball goes up and down like that. Yeah, 100%, 100%. That's what I mean. See, you've even thought of that. So now that's just, that's good on the project. Right, I was going to ring João. Write that one down. That was, hey, João, I got this crazy idea with this ball.
That's awesome. And here's the next question. You talked about traditional problem. One of the main reasons I've had an issue with ITRs is because it breaks, and I'm ham-fisted, and I always end up breaking the thread. I've got 2 ITRs here, which is amazing.
Yes.
But ultimately, I need to fix that thread.
Yeah. So it is super easy to fix it or and apply it. It's really, really simple. You can. There's nothing to. It takes like, a minute or even less than that to actually thread it. And to fix it, again, it's really, really simple. And because it's really easily accessible, you can easily get into the machine and do what you need to do to fix it. So yeah, 100%, you are not going to have a problem with that at all.
And when you need more thread, is it easily get holdable? Is it affordable?
Yes. Yeah. So the at the minute you can get this XL thread spool, which I think you might as well just buy that one, because I think there's supposedly 5 football pitches worth on one spool.
Wow.
So I don't think you're going to run out anytime soon. So you might as well just get that, because once you've got that, you're going to be sorted for a very, 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 very long time. And that's called, I think it's something called the XL spool. And that's on, I think you can get that you probably get that from, I know you can get it directly from João Miranda or your local dealer. I mean, I don't supply that, but you can get a Murphy's, your local magic shop, and João Miranda. You can definitely get it from there. And it's called the XL Sport, Gravity Sport, XL Gravity Sport, I think it is. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think you might have convinced me. Obviously, I'm going to be reviewing it. And I said to you,
yes,
I'm going to be completely honest with you. And you know that I'm not the biggest fan of thread. But what you've told me, it's exciting. I've always liked animations. I mean, I watch you do chill. And pardon the pun, it gives me chills. Like, I've seen you do that and just freak a room full of people out. And it's so amazing. I've always loved what you can do, but I've always struggled with the hookup and the impracticalities of it.
I think the favorite application I love about it is that the reel, for a lot of the effects, not them all, but a lot of them, the reel isn't even on you. So the fact it's not even on you, you are not actually dealing with the thread. You haven't got the thread on you. It's not going to tangle on you because it's not on you. And all you're doing is for an example, with kinetic bill, all you're doing is using one motor. You're attaching the putty to the bill, and then you're putting the note in the glass. That's it. That is the hookup. So you're taking a note, folding it up, putting some gravity tack on it, putting that in the glass, putting a card on the top, and that's it. You can totally walk away now and be under full control. The card can fly off, the note inches up and then flies out into your hand. Even though the reel's not even on you, it flies to your hand. And I definitely, you will really, really like that one called Kinetic Note or Kinetic Bill.
Before we wrap this up, what's your favorite routine on the project? I know you've talked several times about the ringing one. Is that?
It's difficult. The gravity ring is amazing. It's the most difficult one on the project. The whole thing is fully recorded from beginning to end. So I've recorded it. Then all I have to do is press play on the controller and it will play everything that I have recorded. So, that means if I want the ring to fly up after 10 minutes, 10 seconds, it will do exactly what I've done. Whatever you do in record mode, whatever you do, it will play exactly how you've just done it. So that means you can hit record, and if you don't do anything for 5 minutes, then when you hit play, nothing will happen for 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, you make the pencil move, then the pencil will move after 5 minutes. Whatever you do, it will do it. So that's it. What's my favorite effect? I don't know, because there's too many. There's too many. In no particular order. I love Exorcist 1. I love it because the reel's not on you. I can walk away. I can be in the crowd, and I can have the deck cut, the card fly out and shoot out, and it's not even on me. I think that's just incredible. I love Kinetic Note. The same reason, it's not connected to me, and I can have the bill fly to my hand. Hell's Bell. This is a really good point. There's a lot of bells out there, electronic bells, that are really, really expensive. This can do it. And all you need is a regular bell, which costs whatever, I don't know, £10 off Amazon. I don't really know. Or whatever. So, and all you're doing is attaching the ringer bit, whatever you want to call it, the ringer. I don't know what it's called, the ringer, the dinger, whatever that middle bit is. All you're doing is attaching the gravity tag to that, and that's it. That's it. And you're doing it near the top, so it you can't see it. And of course, when you press the motor 1 or motor 2, depending on what motor you've got on, it will ding. So and then you're under full control. Again, if you wanted to, you could have it on record. So like after 5 minutes, it goes ding, 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 ding. The same sort of thing as you were saying in your show. That maybe after 5 minutes it dings. Don't forget, you've got 2 motors. So that means that you could have one motor, just for an example, this is an example what you're saying. You could have one motor attached to the bell, and you could have the motor 2 attached to your sponge bowl in your jar. So you can have all that on record. So that means after 5 minutes, the bell goes, and then after the next 5 minutes, the sponge ball goes up and down, and then it does that for whatever. So yes.
Okay.
So
I'm going to put you on the spot now.
Oh no.
So
I didn't tell you what my favorite of. Oh yeah. So Exorcist 1, Exorcist 1, Oblivion, Kinetic Note, and Gravity Ring.
Okay.
I changed my mind because anti-gravity ball's great as well. I don't know. I don't know. They're all great. I love them all.
Here's the thing. I know you only put something out when you've worked it in and you really believe in it and you use it in your own work.
Yeah.
So you've just said that your favorite trick is probably the haunted deck, the number 1, the whatever it was.
Exorcist
1. Yeah. Okay. Does that mean you're not going to do chill anymore?
Absolutely not. No. I mean, what I mean by that is,
can you do?
I am absolutely. I wouldn't. I am absolutely going to do chill, 100%. Like, this is not taking over chill. What I will say is chill 100% is perfect how it is. I would not change chill at all. Chill is perfect. This doesn't replace chill. So no. I will always do chill the exact same way I've always done it. And I don't know if this would totally work with chill. It's a different hookup, it's a different setup. So no, I would keep chill it is. Chill is just perfect. There's no point changing chill. So yeah.
Okay.
But again, with the gravity reel, chill's one effect. Chill's absolutely amazing, but you can't do anything else with it. It can do the haunted deck in the hands, and then that's it. You can't do anything. With this, you can do like 20 plus things. But I am gonna go in and have them both. So absolutely.
I was going to say, could you, for example, for those of you that don't know what chill is, it's Tom's first project. It's absolutely brilliant. I've seen him work it. It's a haunted deck in the spectator's hand. They hold on to the cards and it cuts itself. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. Could you, for example, do chill in their hands and then say, well, let's see if we can take this one step further, take a step back, put it on the floor and do Exorcist 1 as a follow-up?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, of course you could. Yeah, absolutely.
So you have the 2 hookups if you want to. It doesn't. Right. Okay. Cool. And actually,
you could cross things over. Absolutely. Yeah, that's not a problem.
And it doesn't affect. What are the clothing restrictions for it? Assuming you want to have it on your body.
Again, it all depends because every effect is different. So, for an example, all the effects that require the reel not to be on you can wear what you want because the reel's not on you. So you can just wear shorts if you want to and do everything. And there's a lot of effects on there so there's one called Seance, the reel's not on you. Kinetic Notes, the reel's not on you. Exorcist 1, the reels are not on you. There are a few more, but I can't think of them. I think there's a few more. So some of them, some require you to, some require you have to have it on your belt. There's only a couple that use this. So there is a thing called the gravity holder. I think I have one here. I did have one here, but it just holds the motor on your belt. Some require it to be in the top pocket. But you can also wear it in a waistcoat. So if you don't want to wear a jacket, you can put it in that little pocket in your waistcoat. But also there are effects that require no jacket and no waistcoat, and just requires you to put it into your front jeans pocket. So every effect is different. There's not one hookup. Every effect has its own hookup. Okay. So, but there are variations. So every effect doesn't have to be in the jeans pocket. So you can, each effect has a couple of variations on it where you can put your jacket pocket, but you don't have to. So, and I cover all of this on the project. This is why it took so long, because there's lots of variations going for every single different effect of top pocket, or you can do it this, or you can do it this way, you can do it this way. That's why there's 4 hours of instructions. So that's a lot. I mean, to be honest, I think that's unheard of, to be honest. I've never seen a project where it's got 4 hours worth of instructions. And well, it's going to be more than 4 hours, because now I'm going to be filming the stuff with the switch and stuff like that. So it'll probably eventually it'll be 5 hours, probably, because there's going to be more effects that we will just upload, because this thing's just going to go on forever.
One last question, because I want to do the review on this now. So final question.
Yes.
Can you switch? Let's say you're doing a 2-hour walk around gig or a 2-hour banquet gig. Can you switch in between groups what you're doing? So for example, I've gone on the first group, I've done a routine that involves it being in the top pocket. Before I go to the next table, can I take it, put it in my little holder and go and do a separate routine with that one? Is it very easy to switch in between effects from group to group?
Absolutely. And there is something that I may have not mentioned. You can record up to 3 different things. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. Yeah. So again, that's not a problem. It's going to be very, very easy. What I would say though, even when I go to a gig, I'm not going to be trying to do every single thread effect on that project. I'm going to be picking 2 or 3. I'm just doing those 2 or 3 ones at that gig. So I might do Kinetic Bill, Exorcist 1, and then Oblivion. And then that'll be it. I won't be doing any more. Take your time with it. Just pick 3 and just do those 3 at that gig. And then maybe when you go to another gig, maybe just pick another 3 or even 2. You don't have to do them all at once, because, it's better to master one than to be a jack of all trades. So, just master one at a time and just stick with that 1, 2, or 3. Just do those 3. And when you've mastered them, master another one.
Brilliant advice. Now, Tom, I'm going to go into the review, but first of all, where can we get it from? Okay, so obviously... Get it directly from you, right?
Yes, you can get it directly from me. You can, if you either email me at tom@tomwrightmagic.com. You can obviously send me a Facebook message or Instagram, just put in Tom Wright Magician. Obviously, you can get it directly from Joao Miranda. You can also get it from Murphy's, and I'm also pretty sure that you can get it from your local dealer. Yeah.
I'm a big believer in supporting the creator and supporting I'm a big believer in that. I talk about that on the channel all the time. So I would love people to go and get it directly from you. Can we sweeten the pot a little bit? Come on, I'm going to put you on the spot now. Can we sweeten the pot? Can you, people decide to get it directly from you? First of all, right, what you got?
I've got an idea. What I can do is, if you get it from me, I will pop in 2 extra projects. Hang on, I've got an idea. I've actually got these sat here. I'll tell you what I'll do. If you get it from me, I will pop in my Murphy's lecture, and I'll also pop in Completely Mental with me and Aaron Jones, which has also got 6 crazy effects on there. So that's 2 effects. I'll pop them in there with your package.
They're both brilliant. I do routines out of both of those. That's brilliant. Hasn't that project got your opening routine with the bottle and the shoe and everything?
Yes, it has. Oh, let me just check. Yes, it has. It has got my bottle production with the shoe and everything.
That is the best. Sorry, David Penn, but that is the best bottle production ever created. I absolutely.
Well, what I will say is that was definitely based on David Stone's bottle production, so definitely credit to him for that. And also this is really good as well. This has got lots of.
Oh, it is. It's brilliant, and I've seen that. I think that's great. And for people that are thinking it's mentalism, it's not. It's just that Tom and Aaron, when they get together, they are bloody mental. It's not about mentalism. It's the most off the wall, crazy project. And
even the, if you want to remind yourself, I even watched the trailer. Even the trailer's mental. So definitely watch that. But yeah, so thank you, Craig, for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Hang on a second.
Okay.
So they go to you directly. They're going to get those 2 projects. Is there something we can do with shipping?
If they call me, I will do postage and packaging within for free with the price as well. It's included.
There we go. Okay. I feel like I've just pushed your arm behind your back. I'm sorry, mate. There you go. Free shipping, 2 projects thrown in. And also, most importantly, you're supporting the creator. And I'm telling you right now, I've known Tom for a very long time. We have had magic softs in the past. I've always lost.
We have.
Tom is one of the. You are one of the nicest people in magic. You really are, man.
I love having magic offs with you. In fact, we need a. How many have we had? Have we had 2 now?
We had 2. We need to organise a 3rd one. We need to speak to. We need to speak to Brad because he's got his next now.
Brad Burton, yeah.
I think we make it happen. We won that one.
It's good. I love it when you do all your sort of your wrestling promo where you're doing the video and going, we're going to shoot you down, Tom, and all that.
Let me tell you something, Tom Wright.
Yeah. It's great. I love it.
It's awesome.
But yeah, thank you, mate. It's been a pleasure. And I think I've covered everything. If not, send me a message. Oh, yeah. And also with this, you do get support for life. If you do have a problem with an effect, or let's say you're struggling with the thread or whatever reason, you can just email me and I'll always email you back and always trying to help you out. We also have a secret group on the Gravity Reel as well, so you can always put your thoughts, and there's lots of thoughts and ideas that go in there as well. So that's really good.
Brilliant. It's well worth getting it from Tom. I'm now going to stop this interview and I'm going to review it. So I'm going to sit here, watch the whole thing, and let's see if it's as good as you think it is. So I'm going to review that now. Tom, thank you very much for jumping on this. I really appreciate it. I'll see you again soon. Let's get into the review.
Peace.
So that was the interview with Tom Wright, and I think it was pretty damn thorough. I also think it was very nice of him to offer the deal that he has, which is if you buy it from him, it's going to be free shipping. It's also going to be including 2 projects. That you can't get that deal anywhere else, and I don't know how long he'll do it for, so that's amazing. Now, since the interview, I have spent the last few hours having a look at this product. I have watched the entire download. It is 4 hours long. This is long. And they are adding more routines and more ideas all the time. I have checked out everything. Now, I am not going to perform this for you. And the reason I'm not going to perform it for you is because I'm going to need a bit more time working on this before I can perform it to a level that I will feel comfortable performing it for an audience. I don't want to perform this and butcher it. I think that will reflect badly on Joao Miranda and also on Tom Wright. So I want to make sure that I've got this absolutely perfect. I will be doing this on Magic Lives, and I will tell you when the Magic Lives go up, which ones I'm doing, but I am going to be taking several effects off this and performing them on Magic Lives on this channel. So look out for that. But here's what I think. I think this is absolutely incredible. The words, before I knew what this was, I didn't really know 100% what it was before I spoke to Tom. And when I was doing the interview with him that you just saw, I was getting like super excited about the possibilities of this. So, and then I watched this, I watched the download, and I was pausing it all the way through going, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, I can't believe this, I can't believe this. This is a game changer. It really is a game changer. The words game changer were thrown around, and I think that it is absolutely justified. As somebody who has never got on with invisible thread reels, having watched the download and played with the gimmicks and messed around with it for a little while, I am 100% confident that I can make this work for me. I don't need to go through the features and benefits. That's what Tom's just done. I will tell you that everything that he said is 100% correct. There are routines, so well taught. The explanations, the download, everything goes into detail. I've spoken on this channel before about how it frustrates me that new products come out and they literally pay lip service. I reviewed something the other day where it was a 3-minute download. 3-minute download. They have gone above and beyond with this product. They want to leave no stone unturned. And it is super practical. It really is. Is thread going to break? Absolutely. At some point, thread is going to break. However, they have put everything in place into this system, and it's not a trick. I refuse to call it a trick. This is a system. They've put everything in place into this system to limit that possibility happening. They've got the 2 ITRs in there. They've got the dual ITR system. It is incredibly easy to fix if it breaks. I purposefully broke the thread, purposefully. And I saw, just to see how long it took to repair, seconds. But like Tom said, in the real world, you can just switch over to the other ITR brilliantly. The programmable aspect of this is just how they thought of this. I have no idea, but you can record sequences, and Tom goes into great detail going through how recording sequences with this device will allow you to do stuff that you have never thought possible before. And there is nothing else like this. Even though there are other programmable reels out there, what this does is, first of all, the size of it is so small. The remote control that you use to control everything, you can very, very easily palm it in your hand. You just swap your hand to your side naturally, no problem at all there. It's so practical. It really is. And the other thing that no other reel does other than this is the speed thing. And when I was listening to Tom, that was the one thing I was thinking, well, does that really matter how fast the speed or the tension is on the ITR? How does that really make a difference? Well, having now watched it and having played around with the gimmick, let me tell you, yes, it does make a big difference. Tom talked about Exorcist 1, which is a haunted deck routine where you haven't even got the reel on you. I mean, think about that for a minute. Just seriously, think about that for a minute. You haven't even got the reel on you. You can be completely hands off. You can be in another room and you can make this whole thing happen. It's just incredible. It really is. It is just incredible. But, the whole thing's programmed, and the tension really makes a big difference because you're controlling the tension at various different points in the routine that allows you to have, first of all, that one card move, and then the deck cut itself, and then have the card fly out the deck. I mean, mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. I've spoken on this channel before about my issue with thread being that when you levitate something, the only option that people have, the only thought that people have is there's some sort of invisible thread. When you ask a layman, if you did a floating thing in front of a layman and you ask them, how do you think that was done? A lot of the time they're going to go, it's thread. And it's very hard to disprove that with a normal ITR, because that's exactly how the method works. But with this, there's a couple of points I want to address about that, because that solves this problem for me with regards to 2 things. So number one, there's several routines on the actual download that don't even have things floating. It's Exorcist 1 is the perfect example. It's like a haunted deck. The card just flies out the deck. Nothing is actually floating. But secondly, even when the routines are constructed so they're floating, some of them, you don't even need to be anywhere near it. There's no possible way that they might be thinking, well, is there thread? And then they're going to go, no, there's not. It's impossible. The magicians are not even anywhere nearby. It is incredibly practical. Now, there's 20 routines on there. Tom's adding new routines all the time. It's not just floating stuff. It's not just animating stuff. It's not just doing PK touches. It's also card switches. It's also the card switch. I mentioned it briefly because he just showed it me. The card switch is unbelievable. Such clever thinking. You literally just hold a folded up card here, and as you take it, you've switched it, and nobody would think that there's a switch taking place. It's using this system, and that's why I call it a system. It's not a trick, it's a system. It's using this system in a way that I can't imagine anybody else would have thought of it. This is the ultimate product. You're getting a really well-made gimmick that will last a lifetime. The support behind the scenes, both from João Miranda and also from Tom Wright, is second to none. You've got all of the routines that are included in with it, 20 routines and counting. And like Tom said on the interview, are you going to do all 20 routines? No. But I think different people will find different routines that they do. And it's nice to give people all those different options. There's nothing not to love about this. I am actually going to work on this. And I'm not just talking about I'm gonna play around with it for a bit and see what I think. I think I'm gonna be putting a lot of time and effort into this. I want to, for the first time ever, I want to actually put something that involves invisible thread into my act, because I can see myself doing this. And in the interview I mentioned about the possibility of rigging up a whole show and having a recording that runs for 45 minutes with a sponge ball or something. Having now watched the download, that would absolutely be not just possible but feasible. And think about that as a kid show performer, as a family entertainer. Think about opening your show with a sponge ball production out of a purse frame, and then you do a sponge ball routine and you finish off with one sponge ball and you put it on the table. And throughout the show, it's floating up in the air. It's jumping into a jar. It's juddering around in a jar. It's rolling from one side to the table to the other. All of that is incredibly not just possible, but easy to do once you understand how this system works. It really is. I can't say enough good things about this. It is an absolute game changer. Yeah, I mean, I've been critical of some of Joao Miranda's products in the past. Not all of them. I think the guy's a genius. I think he's got some amazing stuff out, some that's not so good, in my opinion. However, it is only my opinion, because I know that some of the things that I've not particularly liked and not particularly cared for, other people have loved. So it is only my opinion. And in my opinion, this is one of the best products of 2021. Yeah, it's one of the best products of 2021. I think it's right up there, if not equal with, not better than, but it's right up there, if not equal with the Cuban bottle, which up until this point for me was trick of the year. I thought Cuban bottle was absolutely amazing. Well, this is right up there, if not equal with Cuban bottle. You're going to get so many people into thread work that have never done thread work before. Yes, the price is expensive. However, you pay for what you get. And I've talked about this on the rant on Friday, you know. People that, not everyone's going to be able to afford this. Not everyone's going to be able to do this. But the people that do buy it and can afford it and do use it, I think they're going to be using this. They're going to be using it all the time. And I think they'll look back and think about how was I ever able to go out and do a gig without having this? Because this is that 1,000 timer. This is that routine that's going to absolutely kill. And I think the best trick that gravity can do, the best trick gravity can do, I don't think it's been created yet. Because Tom and João Miranda have given you all the tools and all of the instruction that you need to understand how this works. Then you go out and you perform your own routines. You create your own routines. And there is a very vibrant Facebook group with this product where people are talking about it and jamming ideas. And I think there's going to be some incredible stuff coming out. And I think that, you know, as a community, the Gravity users are going to just take thread work and take it to an entirely new level. So yeah, you know what? It's the most talked about product at the moment in the magic world. What do I think? I'm going to give this 150%. I think this changes the game. And I'm so glad that that Tom and Joe worked together on this and bought this out, because this is brilliant. If you can afford it, get it, because I think that whether you're a kid show entertainer, you're a stage performer, you're a close-up magician, you're a trade show entertainer, whatever it is you might be, I think you're going to find a place for this in your act. It's 150%. It's absolutely brilliant. It's highly recommended. And don't forget, you can get it from Tom Wright. I'm going to put his details down below again. You can get it from Tom Wright directly, and if you do, I've convinced him to throw in 2 DVDs, with some amazing routines. If you've not seen Tom perform before, he's so slick. So you're going to see you're going to get 2 extra DVDs, and he's going to do free shipping. So make sure you contact Tom directly about this. It's available from your local magic dealer, obviously. It's available directly from Joao Miranda as well. But, you know, let's support the creator. Let's support Tom Wright. Yeah. Guys, thank you very much for joining me on a Sunday evening. I'd love to know what you think. Leave a comment down below. I know that Tom will probably read this, so you can leave a comment down below. And if you've got any questions, ask. And I'm sure Tom will jump on the thread. And don't forget, if you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and I'm going to be back again on Monday with 3 videos. At 2 o'clock, we've got shorts. At 6 o'clock, we've got a Magic Live. And at 9 o'clock, we have a 5x5. Thanks very much for watching. Get gravity. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic